Linkerd service mesh for Kubernetes. So now what is service mesh? Before proceeding further to what is service mesh, let's see this thing. So we are working with microservices. So we deployed an application which is multi-tier application, and that application have multiple microservices like service A. This is my service A, and this is my service B, and this is my service C. These microservices, this stack of microservices actually make a whole application, right? Like front end, back end, and my database. So now when I'm going to install the service mesh, what it is going to do, it is going to give me two components. Those are the major components, data plane and the control plane. So data plane is actually a proxy which is injected inside the application as a sidecar. So that service mesh and that data plane, actually that proxy, it is going to get deployed on these microservices inside these pod like this. It will run here as a proxy on every of these microservices, these pod, as a sidecar. Got it? And now what is the responsibility of this? It is running with this application, with these microservices, but what is the responsibility of this data plane? It is going to make the communication between the service, right? This proxy is responsible for the communication between these microservices. So whenever anyone is going to ask you how you are going to make the communication between your microservices, or like who is responsible, then this proxy, this service mesh, and the authentication part, whether microservices can send the traffic to each other or not, whether this service A is authorized to send the traffic to service B or not. These are the rules we can define. Or B can send the traffic to C or not, or like A to C, or like this C to A, vice versa. So these rules are also, this authentication part. And then this, it is going to observe the latency and HTTP errors, like it is going to collect the metrics of these microservices. And the security part. So this data plane is actually responsible for the communication, and that communication should be encrypted, like TLS. It is encrypted. It is secured connection between these microservices. So that is the major role of my data plane. And see, when it's come to the upgradation of my application, so proxy like this data plane is also determined that 80% of the traffic is going to the A, and 20% of the traffic is going to be the B version of the same application, right? Proxy also determines that 80% of the traffic goes to the A, or 20% traffic goes to the B version of the same application. Like we are doing canary release, that time 80 and 20%, these things, like are there. And now the control plane, see, it handles the data plane coordination. This data plane, it is going to handle all the coordination like service discovery, TLS, metrics. These things are taken care by the control plane. So service mesh provide these fundamental things: visibility, reliability, and security of the services, right? I hope you understand what is service mesh and how important it is, while working with microservices. I will see you in the next session.